Hello everyone, let's start with the video in which I'll be solving a 3085 problem, and its name is minimum deletions to make string case special. So basically this problem is from leetcode, and it says you are given a string word and an integer k. They've given a string word and integer k. We consider word to be case special if frequency of word of I minus frequency of word of j and their absolute difference. Okay, if let's say frequency of word of I is less, let's say 1, and frequency of word of j is, let's say, 2, so 1 minus 2 is minus 1, but a modulo operation gives you 1 only. So if that is lesser than equals to k for all indices I and j in the string, so you have to do this thing. Okay, means basically if you consider any indices I and j, and the frequency of those, the absolute difference between all I mean all the characters has to be lesser than equals to k. So we'll have to make such string. So in order to do that, so we'll have to delete something. Here it is saying here frequency of x denotes frequency of the character x in word, and modulo of y denotes the absolute value of y. Got it? So even if this value is negative, absolute value of that will be a positive value only. So written minimum number of characters need to be deleted to make word case special. So whatever I've said, like you'll have to delete some of the characters. Let's say here they have given a this string. Let me take this one, second one. This will give you some good idea, because here k is 0, here k is having some value. So let me take you to the board and take this example and explain you. Visible? Good. I think here something is not correct. Okay, so basically they've given a string. We have a 3, 6, 9, 11 letters, and if you take the frequencies of let's say A, frequency of A is only one time. Frequency of B, if you see, 1, 2, 2 times. Frequency of C, if you see, 1, 2, 3. Frequency of D, 4. Do you say no? We'll have to count it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Frequency of D is 5. So what they are saying is, if you consider, this is, sorry, 1, not A. So what they are saying, if you consider any index, let's say I'm considering index here as I and here as J. So frequency of A is 1 minus frequency of D is 5, and if you take absolute value of that, this has to be lesser than equals to k, they are saying, and this is minus 4 less than equals to what is k? K they have given is 2, and absolute value is 4. So clearly 4 lesser than equals to 2 is not correct. So we'll have to delete some characters, basically word of I. We'll have to delete some character to make this as I mean possible, wherein the frequency of this character has to be less than equals to k, frequency of any character what you're taking, basically word of I minus word of j. So in this case, let's say I will delete A. If I delete A, then this is gone. This is gone. Now it is good. Uh, so how do you decide, like should I delete A or delete 5? Because randomly I just deleted in order to explain you, but you'll have to consider in such a way that the deletion what you are doing, deletion of the characters, that has to be minimum, right? So how can we solve this? I'll be solving via two methods. One method will be a brute force solution, wherein I will not be coding it up, but I'll give you idea how we can think of brute force solution of this. So I think you guys know about subsequence. You know about subsequence. Subsequence basically a string wherein um, any character can be deleted from the middle or anywhere, but the sequence has to be maintained. Let's say D A D B. I'm taking D A D B. This is subsequence. So you will have to generate all the subsequence, right? So how do we generate all the subsequence? So I think you guys know this. You can Google it out. or else if you want me to explain how to generate all subsequence, I'll be doing it in next video. So basically what you'll have to do is you'll have to generate all subsequence. Once you generate all the subsequence, you have got a string, right, when you're generating. So take that string and now take a 2 for loop, which is basically from A to Z is in small letters. In question they given the string consists only of small letters, English alphabet. So you'll have to run 2 loops and you'll have to check the condition again, the same thing, like frequency of I, word of I basically, frequency of word of I minus frequency of word of j. So this will be our I, this will be our j. So this frequency has to be lesser than equals to k. In if any case, if you find that this frequency is not valid, I mean this condition is not valid, so in that case you will have to not consider that substring. So now let's say it satisfies this condition in all from all letters, like 26 letters you have in English, A to Z. So from A to A we have checked it, from A to B we have checked it, from A to C we have checked it, up to so on, from A to Z we have checked it. Again in the same manner, from B to A we have checked it, from B to B we have checked it, from B to C we have checked it, till B to Z. So if you do it this way, so let's say we have checked it all these possible cases, and in all the possible cases frequency was satisfying. Now what you'll have to do is which means that substring is a valid one. So initially we know the string length can be calculated as dot size. So we have a length, string size in n, and the once all the conditions are satisfied, we'll have to check here if length, here length is basically this subsequence length. Okay, length is basically, we'll take here length is equal to subsequence length. Okay, so we have a length. If we'll have to check here this n, which is basically the frequency, not frequency, the length of the string minus length, this is a length of the subsequence, right? Sorry, length of whatever we have deleted. I think you're getting, see, this is the length of the string, original string, and this is length of the subsequence. So n minus l will give you a number of what character that you have deleted. So that is if lesser than the answer. First we'll take one answer variable also, that we'll have to initialize to int maximum larger value. So if that is true, then in that case our answer will be n minus length, which is basically the minimum number of deletions what you're doing. And at the end, when you generate all the subsequence, you have checked all these things, you'll have to return this answer. So this will give you valid answer. But there is a catch here. To generate all the subsequence of string length n, you'll have to require 2 power n time complexity. And in the question they have given word length as basically 10 power 5. So 2 power 10 power 5 is a huge value. So this will give you definitely time TLE, time limit exceeded. So we'll have to somehow optimize this. So I think you guys got how to solve using brute force. Now let me show you how you can solve using optimized way. So basically this is a greedy solution. How do I say greedy? I'll tell you. Just be with me. Frequency A of 1, B is 2, C is 3, and D is 5. This is the frequency. Now what I'll try to do is we'll have to delete some elements, right, such that the condition meets. What was our condition? Frequency of word of I minus frequency of word of j has to be lesser than equals to k. So what I'll do is, let's say I'll choose this as the minimum characters like in my string, b is the character whose frequency whatever is there, that is the minimum. I mean, that is the least possible frequency of the character in my final answer it can be. So if this is your least answer, okay, I mean b ka frequency is least, so whatever the frequency lesser than that has to be 0. I mean what I'm trying to say is that you are taking a final string wherein you are saying my frequency of b is the minimum, this is the bare minimum, not lesser than that frequency has to be there in my case. So a ka frequency is 1 time, so you'll have to delete this, right? So you're making a delete operation. So and whatever the I mean greater frequencies are there, so let's say this is my 3, okay, so if you take frequency difference that will give you 1 and check if it is actually lesser than equals to k is 2, so which is true, so this c can be in my string, in my sorry I mean final string. So what I can do is c can be in my string, so I will place here c. Now I'll check for, let's say, d. Can this be in my subsequence? I mean final string. So if you see the difference between this is 3 and lesser than equals to k, which is 2, is false. So d cannot be in my I mean final string. So if d is not there, so you have deleted ruled out the frequency of a because it was lesser than the frequency of 2. So you have deleted 1 and you do not d also. I mean, D you cannot rule out whole. Reason being, if you try, let's say they have given frequency, I mean, difference of the frequency has to be lesser than equals to k. So now in this case it is 3. So to make 2, how many you will have to delete? You will have to delete only 1, right? Yeah. So if you delete 1, then frequency, let's say you are deleting 1D. So frequency reduced to 4. You have deleted this one, let's say. So now if you try to take the frequency, that is basically 2. 2 lesser than equals to 2 is true. So basically in this case you are deleting only 1. So how many you have deleted? 1 from here, 1 from here. So 2 you have deleted. So minimum number of deletion if you do, if you remove 1a and 1d, so this is a valid string that you'll get and you are deleting only 2 substrings. Now let me try to check what is the answer. In this case 2 is the answer, that is correct, but uh, so now directly I went to this one choosing the lowest frequency. How do you say that this is the right, I mean how do we choose this? So there is no hard and fast rule to choose this as my lowest frequency. One thing we can do is we can choose a, let's say this is my lowest frequency, and we'll try to solve whatever I've just said, and we'll choose second time b's as the lowest frequency, and we'll do the same thing. We'll choose c as the lowest frequency, we'll do the same thing. Basically whatever characters are there in the string, we'll choose all the characters frequency as the lowest frequency and try to solve the answer, and whichever I mean in every step we'll get some answer, right? So we will have how many if we choose this a as the lowest frequency, how many strings we have, I mean characters we have deleted, and in this how many characters we have deleted, in this how many characters we have deleted, and in this how many. So out of among all this, whichever in operation we have deleted the lesser number of characters, that will be your answer. So I think you got what I'm trying to say. So I think you got it, like from B's frequency I was choosing as now let's say let me take 3. uh, Basically what I'm trying to say is that let's say I will take 3's frequency as the least minimum frequency that in my character should be there. So if this is the least one, so the above 2 will be deleted according to rule. Why we are doing this thing? So let's say we are choosing this as least frequency, that is x, and we are trying to delete some, there is a delete operation. If it was an addition operation, so we could have added in this thing, I mean in these frequencies some character of a or b, and would have made like the frequency is lesser than equals to k. So but this is a delete operation, that's why we are taking this, fixing it as bare minimum, and we're deleting this one. And yeah, so let's say this is the x, what I was telling, a frequency of that. And in I mean forward, I mean the frequency greater than that, you will have to check it. And this is, say, let's say distance k. And in my case it was here ds5. So that was greater than I mean that was greater frequency, right? Let's say x1, or let me say it was a y frequency. So basically the extra whatever we have this element, right? So this will have to delete it, and try to make, if you're making x as my minimum frequency, so lesser the value will be deleted. Sorry, I got lost there. So what I was saying, whatever, like you're choosing this one as the least character that is to be there. And so whatever frequencies, let's say x1, I mean x2, x3, whatever frequency is it, that you will be deleting, and you're taking the forward frequencies. Now one more question, Rajesh, why you're choosing the least I mean why you're taking the frequency as the least frequency? Why can't you take that as the maximum frequency? So that question I'll be answering you here. Let's say you have chosen the frequency x is the max frequency, that will be there in our answer. Got it? So if you choose this the max frequency, so whatever frequency x1, x2 we have, these are the maximum. From this is a 0, and frequencies are moving forward. So x1, x2 is larger than x. X1 comma x2 both are larger than x, frequencies are greater than x. So if you're choosing this as the max, so this frequency you can't take it. Now if you're choosing, let's say I mean there are some other frequencies also, x3, x4, x5, and let's say your distance k is coming here, like basically the frequency difference is at here at max. Before this you will not have any, whatever frequency is there you will not be choosing, but you will be choosing somewhere these three, right? These three character frequency will be choosing. Now it happens to be that at this particular k we don't have any value, so we don't have any value, and this is my x. So x minus k ka range is only this much, right? This is the last that the frequency is matching, but you're checking till here k, which is not giving. So now let's say we have one more frequency x7, and this is in the range, I mean till k. So basically you have lost this elements frequency, right? So that is the thing, we're taking the minimum, so that whatever frequency is lesser than that will be deleted, and whatever frequency is having higher value, that we're taking. And if it goes beyond k difference, so we will take only the minimum, basically till the k decision, that's it. So yeah, I think we are good to go. So what we are doing, we are taking frequency. So we have in the question they said word consists of only lower English letters. So we'll take one vector. We'll not take nav because it will take n log n operation. So we'll take vector, and vector is very fast also. N log n, if you see, we have only 26 letters, so it is constant only, but still vector is faster than map. So I'm taking this. I'll name it as frequency, and there will be only 26 size. I'll iterate through this word, and I'll be storing the frequency of all the word in my vector. Basically a will be stored as 0th, and b will be stored at 1th one index that I'm doing. We have got the frequency. Now we'll take one answer variable which will be initialized to max, right? So this is max possible answer. But if you see your max possible answer, if you want to delete the array, that will be array size only. Since you are deleting the character side, so at max what can you delete? You can delete the length of the entire string. So we can take int max also, or we can take length of the string also, that is fine. I'll be taking into max only. So yeah, that is there. Now we'll have to go through each and every element, basically whatever elements we have in a vector. So that is int I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, not n, I mean 26. We have only 26 letters, right? So that's why. So now I'm choosing, let's say, a ka frequency as the minimum frequency. So minimum frequency in our array has to be uh, what is it, frequency of I. This is my minimum frequency. So now I'll iterate through a loop, j equals to 0, j less than 26, j plus plus. So basically what I'm doing here is that we have chosen one character and we are choosing the other characters. For a we have chosen a to z, I mean a pair we are taking a b a c a d. When we are coming, let's say we are taking the b's frequency as the minimum, so we will be again iterating to the first only. What is b's frequency is minimum, what is a's frequency, what is b's, what is a's, in that we are doing. So this is two for loops. Now we'll have to check it here. If minimum frequency is greater than uh, frequency of j, which means the character frequency of character what we are taking right now is lesser. So in that case we'll take one variable count which will be initialized to 0. So basically lesser than, I mean minimum's frequency whatever is there, if the frequency of other element is lesser than that, we are entirely deleting the element. So we will be deleting entire that element. Else what we'll be deleting, we'll be deleting max of 0 comma, why 0, I'll be telling you. Let's say frequency of j is this minus minimum frequency plus k. So I think you got this, or what I'm trying to say. I was showing you there in the board, like frequency of b was 2 and frequency of d was 5. So in that case we'll have to delete only one element, right? And also there was a case where frequency of b is 2 and frequency of c is 3. So in that case this difference was 1 and k is value is 2 lesser than that. I mean frequency of b and c was lying in the range. So if it was lying in the range, so we'll have to not delete any element, I mean any character. And in d case we had to delete it. So if this difference is negative, so in that case we will not be deleting anything. So we are taking maximum of 0 comma that thing. If we have frequency of any character greater than 0, which means that many characters we have to delete it. So and now here we will have to take max of answer comma count, and at the end we'll have to return count. Let me try to run the code. Sorry, not count, answer. Okay, sorry. See, I have taken it max and I want to get the minimum deletions, right? So this will be min. So yeah, everything is accepting. Let's try to run the code. Yeah, it is running fine and giving us it beats 100% of the users. It is pretty good. Now let's analyze the time complexity. So this loop will be running for O of n times, basically length of the string, which is 10 power 5, and these two loop will be running 26 into 26, which will give as 676. 676. So basically time complexity of this algorithm is linear of n, and space complexity, if you see, we are taking vector of size 26, so that is our space complexity and it can be treated as constant. Yeah, so thank you guys, this was it. And if you understand, yeah, just do tell me you have understood. And if you want me to improve at any point, or if you feel like I'm lacking somewhere, you can comment it out. I'll try to improve myself and put you a better content. So thank you guys for watching the video.